Today we're going to do the last two lit terms for this unit, which are colloquial and idiom. And I like to save these last two for the end of your reading because they so naturally connect to Arne's experience as he moves to the United States and tries to learn English. Colloquial means informal conversational language. Colloquialisms are phrases or sayings that are indicative of a specific region. And typically, we can think of colloquial language as slang, kind of. So the example I chose is from page 183, and it says, I have a feeling that it's true what they say about the US, that white people are nice, very kind, give you a lot of stuff for free, and the lady, they pat me, the touch nice and gentle and soft, and I feel shaking because never has a girl touched me like this before, and I tell them thank you, and let the force be with you. So obviously Arne is using a phrase that's, something from American culture, something that he's read in that comic book that Peter Pond gave him, and he's trying to kind of connect with the person that he's speaking with. So Arne is really making his best effort to connect and to sort of adapt to a new culture. So the pro tip for these two terms today is really to think about how colloquialisms and idioms are problematic for those trying to learn a new language and kind of assimilate to a new culture. So, particularly in the next term, you'll see how phrases that we use all the time in the United States, and they make sense to us because they've been so deeply connected to our language for so long. Are actually really challenging for those who are trying to learn English. And I'm sure that in any other country, in any other area of the world, they have these sort of phrases that if we were trying to learn a different language, and you may have experienced this if you take like Spanish or German or Japanese or French or something, but it just kind of provides an additional barrier for those who are trying to learn that new language. All right, your last term for this unit is idiom, which is an expression peculiar to a particular language that means something different from the literal meaning of the words. So you probably use idioms all the time without even being aware that you're doing so. Some common examples that we use in our language are a bone to pick, bite the bullet, apple of my eye, hit the hay, under the weather. What's interesting about idioms is that they actually do come from literal meanings of these words, but over time they've sort of changed to mean something different, and they're idiomatic in the way that we understand them as speakers of English. So the example I chose from the book is from page 190, and it's kind of a loose example, but I put it in here because it sort of demonstrates something about Arne. So the example says, one morning, Shirley come in our room and yell at us very hard. She goes bazooka. All these banana peel in the room smell bad like latrine, and I think, okay, now we get sent back to Cambodia. So if you're Arne and you're using this word bazooka, it's likely that he, in his mind, thinks bazooka as in like the explosive weapon, the big explosive gun type thing that you see in the image there. And that would have been his experience coming from a war-torn region and having gone through the genocide. But he's drawing a comparison between Shirley's outburst and this explosive weapon. So actually, as a learner of English, his comparison, his analogy, whether he realizes he's doing it or not, is a rather sophisticated one for his level of learning English. It's very basic. So again, the pro tip really just urges you to think about how idioms and colloquialisms can really be challenging and can kind of put up an extra wall between someone who's trying to adapt to a new culture and like fitting in and feeling accepted and like they belong in that new place.